Good day, everyone. So, in our last video, we talked about how to have a close relationship with God. So, in this video, I'll be emphasizing on some aspects, like more contributions actually, to how to have a closer relationship. In the previous episode, we talked about, um, firstly, having a desire to be close to God, to have a personal relationship with God. Then, secondly, is to have a prayer life, communicating with God regularly and consistently through prayer. That is the second answer to how we can have a close relationship with God. And we also talked about being listening to more of godly content, messages, musics, and even videos that will connect you more to God and the things of God. So, the next thing I want to emphasize about in the aspect of having a close relationship with God is fasting. Yes, fasting. Fasting helps every believer in also having a close relationship with God. How? In Isaiah 40 verse 31, it says that those that wait upon the Lord shall what? Shall renew their strength. So you want to renew your relationship with God. You want to be closer to God. You want to commune with God. You have to be able to wait upon the Lord. So P. Daniel said in one of his messages, and I quote, "You fasting means you are telling God that, God, this this food is not as important as you are to me." That's what fasting actually means. When you wait upon the Lord, you want to connect with God, you want to receive from God. So that is one way to move closer with God and to also have a closer relationship, personal relationship with God. How? I'm going to talk about a scenario, actually from my personal experience when I was trying to come close to God, when I wanted to have a close relationship with God. I wanted to move closer to God more than I was before. So I decided to go on few days fast, like about maybe 21 days. Yeah, not maybe, actually, it was 21 days fast. So on actually one of the days out of the 21 days fast, I went to a bank. So formerly, I used to be someone who was so gentle but aggressive. Aggressive in the aspect that I might get annoyed with someone and keep it in, have grudges against the person or something. Then when it actually gets too much and I feel like I'm being pushed to the wall, I retaliate. And the way I retaliate is usually very dangerous. Very dangerous in the aspect that I see myself doing things that I'm not supposed to do normally, like shouting on top of my voice and making the person look so ridiculous and frustrated. That's what I do when I'm hungry. I actually ate it. I never wanted it, but it was just kind of like a part of me back then. I wanted it to change. I wanted to be closer to God, and I knew only God could help me with being less aggressive and not aggressive at all. So during the fast, I went to a bank to actually settle some things in the bank. Then this banker was so rude, like very, very rude. I mean, so rude that I know that on a norms, if not for God, and if not for the fact that I was fasting, and I didn't want this woman to spoil my fast, I would have retaliated. I would have poured my anger on her. But I felt this spirit within me telling me, don't do anything, don't do anything, don't get annoyed, just leave her presence and move to another person. So I went to the next banker, and the next banker was nice and he treated me well and he responded to me very well. So the following day, I met with someone who actually told me that she saw me at the bank And the moment she saw me was actually the time I was almost getting annoyed with that banker. I wanted to scatter everywhere, but I couldn't because I felt the spirit holding me back. Now, just imagine I didn't obey the spirit that was holding me back from being so aggressive. The other fellow that saw me back then at the bank would have thought of me to be someone who pretends a lot, being so gentle but so aggressive. So, one of the ways you can be closer to God is by obeying Him, obeying His Spirit, obeying His Spirit, and obeying His instruction, listening, being led. Yeah, it's good to be led by the Spirit. Being led by the Spirit means you're the Son of God, right? Yeah, but are you obeying the leading of the Spirit? When He tells you, don't go through that direction, go through this way. You are being led, isn't it? Right. You are being directed, isn't it? Right. But are you obeying that instruction? Once you obey one instruction, it will be able to give you the next instruction. And that next instruction is going to be an instruction that will move you closer to God. The more you obey, the more you hear Him. The more you obey, the more He reveals Himself to you. The more you wait upon Him in fasting and in prayer, the more you see Him and the more you get closer to Him. So, those are one of the ways, actually, that you can have a close relationship with God. It's good to pray. It's good to communicate with God. It's good to be consistent. But being fasting and waiting upon the Lord is also very, very important to have a good walk with God. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for listening. Matthew 4 verse 4 says that man shall not live by what? By bread alone. So you don't have to eat all the time, all the time, all the time. Once in a while, try to fast, try to pray, and try to seek the face of God. And He will surely reveal Himself to you. Thank you so much. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Tag Show with Dara, talking about God, for more godly content. God bless you. Bye.